Hey guys, I'm Phil the Blanks and welcome back to NPC. Holy crap, it is that time of year again. E3 is right the hell around the corner. It is like literally next week. It starts on Saturday. So damn, that's insane. Last year I had just started NPC and I did a kind of prediction video, and I was pretty damn wrong on a lot of things because I'm not a soothsayer, you know what I mean? Like I see trends in the history of video games, and I can guess certain things, sure. But in terms of what they'll actually announce and stuff, man, like when they'll announce it, I don't friggin' know. Like I totally called that they were gonna, like, not on the show, so I have no proof, but I totally called that they were gonna make like a release a version of the Switch that would not have a dock. They only did in Japan, mind you, but you know, stuff like that. That is stuff I can guess. But specific titles and that kind of thing, no man, I'm bad at that. So instead of doing a prediction video of this list, I thought it'd be a lot funner to do a wish list. So it's even stupider and things even more won't happen. Yeah. So and usually my things that I want to see at an E3 are one of two things. They're either things that are very realistically possible, and some are, no, they'll never happen, I wanted this for years and it's never happening, but that's why it's a wish list, right? It's a wish list. I gotta wish, I gotta pray, I gotta hope. Need some hope out there. First of all, Mega Man 11 was gonna be on this list, but then they went and showed the trailer off early, and there we go. That was one thing, was I wanted to see more Mega Man 11, and I saw it, and I did an NPC on that, so take that out. Then there was the Pokemon Let's Go announcement, which I didn't do an NPC on. I won't do an NPC on. I'm not a giant Pokemon guy, so, like, sorry, I don't have much to say about it other than the fact that I think it looks okay, and if you don't like it, then wait for the next full-on Pokemon game, which this isn't the next major Pokemon game, like they said. But one of my wishlist things was to see the next Pokemon game, so I guess that's still technically on the wishlist because 2019's major core Pokemon game hasn't been shown off, but whatever. Pokemon Let's Go kind of took that thunder away from me. So anyways, this is like in no order or whatever. This is not like a countdown or anything. I don't even know how many there are. I have a few, you know, let's just talk about them. Smash Brothers obviously is going to be shown, so that's like almost doesn't even count for the wish list either, just because we know for a fact they're showing it off. Now, if you want to see specific wishlist stuff for Smash Brothers, then I did 2 NPCs on who I think should be in Smash Brothers. In fact, they came out last year before last year's E3. I had absolutely no idea that a new Smash Brothers would be this close, so I could have kept those videos for a couple more years, but I didn't, because I honestly thought it'd be a few years before we get to see the Smash Brothers. But go check those out if you haven't already, for my specific Smash Brothers wishlist sort of thing. I want to see a new Pokemon Snap. I've been saying that for a long time. I first played Pokemon Snap only about 5 years ago, but I absolutely adored it. I thought it was so cool. I had never played it. I'm not a giant N64 guy, so I never played it until I started collecting N64 games, and I only got it a few years ago, and that's when I played it for the first time, and I just absolutely adored it. It's one of my absolute favorite Pokemon games, and I would love to see a Pokemon Snap 2. I can't believe it didn't happen on the Wii U. That tablet, the Wii U tablet, is so friggin' perfect for that. How stupid can you be, Nintendo? Come on, why wasn't that made? So that's on my wish list. I still think it could very well happen. Who knows, it could be one of those, like, camera friggin' labo things and just do that. I want to see Final Fantasy 16. I've always been a giant Final Fantasy fan, even if I don't always like every game in the series. I didn't like anything about 13. I'm not a fan of Type 0, and I haven't been interested enough in 15 to sit down and play it for more than a couple hours. So it's kind of weird to hear me say, like, oh man, I'm super into Final Fantasy, when the last, like, 6 years of Final Fantasy hasn't been for me. In fact, the Final Fantasy I was looking forward to the most was Dissidia, and that failed miserably, which is such a shame because the idea of the game is so good. But that doesn't stop me from wanting Final Fantasy 16, at least to see what it's like. So, you know, I wouldn't mind seeing that. I know that there was a trailer we got to see a couple years ago about this new engine they were creating, and there's rumors that that's Final Fantasy 16. I'd be okay with that. To be honest, I just want to see Final Fantasy 16. I want to see some actual gameplay on Death Stranding. Anyone who knows me in real life knows that I'm actually not a fan of Hideo Kojima or any of his games. That being said, I respect the crap out of him. I think he's a very talented person and clearly deserves respect in the game industry. Death Stranding might not at all be my type of game, but I don't care. The idea that he created his own friggin' studio, and did you see those trailers for that damn game? It makes zero sense. Frig, of course I want to play this. It looks like a friggin' trip, and I absolutely want to see what it's actually going to be about. I want to see Nintendo or Microsoft talk about VR. So far, the only people talking about VR is Sony. In terms of console gaming, I know we got the Oculus and everything else, but in terms of console gaming, we only got one guy there, and that's Sony. And the PSVR is very cool, don't get me wrong, but I think it needs competition, real console competition, to keep going. I want to see Microsoft do something, and Nintendo, I think the Switch could pull it off reasonably well. I mean, you just kind of have the goggle thing, you slide the Switch down into it, you don't even need the screen, because the Switch itself, the tablet, is the screen. Speaking of VR, I want to see Beat Saber for PS4, for PSVR. I can't wait to play Beat Saber, it looks so freaking good. And when I got a VR, it's going to be for console, so I want to play that on freaking PSVR. Let me see Beat Saber, jeez, it looks so good. I want a Marvel game. I know that sounds weird, but I love the Marvel movies, and the Marvel games suck. We played Iron Man 2, Thor, I guess Captain America wasn't too bad. But can we see an actual good, Avengers game? I honestly think these movies deserve a really good game. And apparently Square is supposed to be working on something, but they've shown nothing off. And the teaser trailer was, I think, over a year ago, so let's see something about that. I want a sequel to Super Mario RPG. And I don't mean Paper Mario, I don't mean Mario Luigi. I want Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars 2, or whatever. And I know that's never gonna happen, but I loved Mario RPG. I loved its realistic look for a Mario game, that is. And I would love to see a Mario RPG on a console that is not a Paper Mario game. I love Paper Mario, don't get me wrong, but I want to see something that's not that style, and I don't want to see something with Mario and Luigi style. I want an actual Mario style RPG with Square behind the wheels. I would love that. Or, to be honest, just a friggin' console remake of Mario RPG. I'd be okay with just that. Something that actually follows, I wouldn't say the lore of Mario RPG, but Mallow's there, and he's spoiler alert for Mario RPG, the game came out friggin' 22 years ago, so shut up. But Mallow is now the king of Nimbus Land. Geno comes back, but he's in a different form. You get to go to the Star Road. That'd just be really, really cool. I want to see that. I want to see Star Tropics 3. This is probably my stupidest thing on my wish list. I love Star Tropics. Star Tropics 1 is my favorite NES game. Star Tropics 2 is one of my favorite NES games, and you should keep that in mind for when I do a top 10 NES games of my favorite NES games, because then I always ask people, hey, what do you think my top 10 is going to be, or my number 1? And now you know it's going to be Star Tropics. I love Star Tropics. They were made by Nintendo Japan specifically for an American audience, and they're so silly and they're so wacky, and I absolutely adore them. I would love a Star Tropics 3 because Nintendo clearly hasn't forgotten that it exists. It's on the NES Mini. They mention it every so often, but it never gets, there's no trophies in Smash Brothers. In Brawl, there wasn't any stickers, so it's kind of a shitty thing that way, that I know Nintendo of America for a little bit knows that it exists, but I think Nintendo Japan forgot. But I want to see someone work on a Star Tropics 3. Something. I don't know. I just think it'd be cool. I don't care that it's stupid. I want to see the Nintendo Online. By the way, heads up, obviously there's a lot of stuff is about Nintendo because I'm a Nintendo guy. I want Nintendo Online to show off better than what they've shown off. I want to see, I know the Virtual Console doesn't exist anymore, but I want to see that Nintendo banner, that here's some classic games. I want to see it do better than what they're doing, because right now it's very underwhelming. And I see all these other companies and they're like, here's the Sega Genesis Classic Collection. It comes with over 50 games of Sega Genesis games. Holy shit. Here's the Neo Geo 40th Anniversary SNK bullshit. It comes with a ton of SNK games. Nintendo, allow me to play other older games. I know the Virtual Console doesn't exist, but give me that option somehow, some way. I want Konami to smarten the fuck up. Make a Castlevania game that's not shitty, and where the hell is my Contra game? They teased a Contra game, in 2012 or something, where, I don't remember the exacts of how it happened, but, at the end of one of their conferences, we got one more thing to show you, and then we had the sea and the fire was going, and it made the Contra logo. But then nothing happened. Where's my Contra? I want Contra. I don't know what's happening with Konami. They're crazy, I guess, but whatever. I want my Contra game. Bring me a Contra game. I want to see what Yacht Club's working on. I loved Shovel Knight. I love it, but they are milking the shit out of that. And we're still waiting for the last expansion pack on it with King Knight. That's fine, don't get me wrong, I can't wait to play it, but I want to see what else Yacht Club can do. They sent out a survey like a year ago about what we want to see them do, and I want to see the fruits of that survey, basically. Yacht Club, you are good. I want to see what else you could do. Same with Retro. There's rumors that Retro is working on Star Fox friggin' Grand Prix. I personally don't care if that's true or not. If it's true, then great. That'll be the closest thing we get to an F-Zero game. If it's not true, that's okay too. I just want to see what Retro's working on. I really don't care what it is. Retro's a good enough studio that what they work on will be worth playing. That's all I kind of got in the top of my head, to be honest. I mean, there's a billion other things that I want, of course, but like those are the things that like I immediately would crave at the moment. And not all of these were crazy. Some of them, like a new Contra game isn't crazy. Certain characters in Smash Bros. Isn't crazy. Yes, I know Star Tropics 3 is crazy. I get that. But like, what do you guys want to see? I want to know what your guys' wish list is. I don't care if it's wacky. I don't care if it's crazy. I don't care if it's Goku and Smash Brothers, as stupid as that is. If that's what you want to see, tell me. I'm all up for hearing your guys' opinions and what you think E3 should be about this year. Tell me in the comments below. I'm Phil in the Blanks. Also, Punch Out. I want a Punch Out. Give me a Punch Out game. I want a Punch Out game. Give me a Punch Out game.